Breathe. I think we're live, girl. Come
Hey,
on.
are we ready?
Wait, let me make sure.
Yeah, great.
That was funny. Oh, yeah, we're live. We're live. We're live.
All right. Hey, Auntie.
Hey, Ash. And welcome everyone to Hey Auntie and Ash, where we are bridging generations through conversations,
Conversation.
through
Yes.
these spicy conversations. Girl, okay, there we go. 7. Okay. I was wondering what was happening with Instagram, but we are now live on Instagram. So we're live on
Hello. I
Instagram.
love the way like we're matching, but we're not matching.
I
So
know,
like
isn't it
my
cute?
purple shadow matches your
Isn't it
dress.
cute, girl?
Yes, it's not.
This actually a top. I love it too. I should stand up, but
It's cute.
I might fall down if I stand up. So y'all listen, if you're lacking energy from the auntie today, just know that auntie love y'all because she was sitting up asking God to spare her one more day. Okay. And let her wake up today. So needless to say, we are here and
Yes.
we
What?
are, I can't say wrapping up because Love is Blind reunion is next Wednesday,
Wednesday.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I know. So, y'all, last week we had a special guest, Sherry, and we talked about is love
Yes.
really blind? And we
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 did.
kind of dug deep, right,
We
Ash?
did. We did.
We
We
dug
did.
really deeply into all of the, love schematics. We'll call it
Yes.
that. So tonight we are talking again about Love is Blind, but we're talking about the show.
Yes. And the spiciness of it all.
So for y'all who don't watch, you need to watch.
You do.
But Love is Blind, Ash gave you guys the parameters and all of the concept of the show 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yes.
But a 10,000 foot overview. It's a show, reality show, where people meet in pods, male and female alike, and they talk through these pods. They can't see each other,
Yes.
but they're trying to determine, is love really blind? Can individuals really fall in love and stay in love
Yeah, they are.
with sight unseen, right?
Yes.
So we are up to episode, what was that, 12, Ash?
I think so. Like 12 or something. Yeah.
So, Ash, we wanted to talk about like our predictions and how accurate or, off we were. So I'll speak for me. I said it
Okay.
was only going to be one couple who made it,
Yes.
not just to the altar, but beyond the altar, to
But
life,
beyond,
right? Not just a wedding, but a whole marriage. One
yes.
couple, and that was Johnny and is it Amy?
And Amy. Yes.
Okay. And I was right. Spot on. Johnny and Amy,
I
they
felt like
made
we
it.
both said that though.
I'm speaking for me. I can only speak for the aunties. See, y'all millennials always talk about how the old folks trying to speak for you and mute you. So I am not muting anyone. I am speaking for me. Ash, the millennial, can speak for herself.
So we agreed. That's
Uh-huh.
number one. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
About who was gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
And we pretty much said that Amy and Johnny were the only hope.
Mm-hmm.
And if we be not a prophet, okay.
If we be not accurate prophets.
Right.
Because there's some prophets out here, but they ain't
Baby,
always
they be
accurate.
you be like, what you
They
talking about, friend?
self-appointed. But anyway, yeah. So Johnny and I'm not gonna put up photos because I
No,
am
because we did
struggling,
that
y'all.
already.
We did it and I'm struggling tonight. So, but we do have something spicy. So go ahead, Ash.
So, okay. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we want to go through all of them?
So let's go through that episode. So
Okay.
there,
So
wait, Ash.
Okay.
Before we do that, we started with, was it 5 couples or
Yes.
6?
So wait, hold on. It was Kenneth and Brittany.
Yep.
It was Jeremy and Laura.
Yep. Chelsea and whatever his name is. Jimmy. Uh-huh.
Adi and Clay.
Yep.
Amy and yeah.
So 5. So we started with 5 couples. We, as of this week, we were down to 3 couples.
Yes.
That was Jimmy and Chelsea, Amy and Johnny,
so,
and AD and Clay. And welcome, y'all. Welcome to all the watchers. If you watch Love is Blind, please let us know. We would love to bring you on the camera, especially for this conversation. This is some Ashley's favorite word is spicy. This is spicy.
I had to give my Johnny Gill, whoever that was.
That's my Johnny. See, millennials. That's Johnny. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's let's talk about where
Hmm?
Jimmy sitting that girl. He took her on that whole day. He took her. Let me tell you something. He took her on the physical representation of their relationship. That roller coaster,
He went, as the old folks say, all around the teacup to get to the
all
handle.
around, or as Funky Dineva would say, all around the world in a ya. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He took that girl up and down, up and down, up and down. But
Mhm,
I honestly, their relationship was up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I think
mhm,
what really broke the straw was
mhm.
when she told him
Oh,
that she didn't think that he
he
loved
loved
her
her. When the full time he had to validate, puff her up, build her
the
up. I
whole
love you. I
entire
love you.
time.
I love you. You're
Yes.
beautiful. I love
You're
you. I
beautiful.
love you.
You,
He had to
you're,
do something to her that no one can do except God and
yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I felt like, honestly, do I think that he was attracted to the other girl? Yeah.
Of course.
But I still felt like in some ways he tried to keep it respectful.
He tried.
And I'm gonna say this. I felt like he knew he was bending over backwards
Oh, absolutely.
to please Chelsea. And
And he
Chelsea,
started to see a glimpse of what forever
the
would look
future
like.
was gonna look like.
Mhm, mhm. And it
Now,
was just it's undoable. It's not
no.
doable.
Now this is the thing. Let's talk about the big white elephant in the room.
Mhm.
The fact that you had sex with one of your best friends
And you told her,
and you told her,
which that's debatable, whether that could be a whole show. Do we how much do we talk about our exes with our
yes.
currents? Mhm.
Now,
That
this is
yeah.
the thing. Most men and some women would say he did
Don't
it
want to know.
to be forthright though,
Mhm.
right? He
Mhm.
did it to be forthright,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But you also have to think about how that's gonna make the other person feel as well.
Mhm.
And so I think she has some valid feelings,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
That oh, you out with her and your other friends. I think this is what I do believe. I believe the caveat is this: if you're okay with it, if you're okay with them being friends, fine. Then you need to make a parameter around it. Y'all
Yeah.
can only be around a group of people,
In the
or
daylight
in the daylight, or you gotta say, I ain't cool with y'all being friends.
at all. And
It's
let the
that
chips
simple.
fall where they may.
Exactly. But he had told her he not finna drop his friend.
Which is potentially a problem. That can be slightly problematic
Yes,
because you know there are so many topics that we could talk about on this show, but can the opposite sex really be
yes.
friends
Is
without
it a
romantic
yes?
involvement, without
Can it be
opening the
platonic?
door? Can
Yes.
it be platonic? And if you are saying yes, it can be, because he also mentioned that she and one of her ex-boyfriends were still friendly, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to agree with that, like Ash said, there has to be some agreed upon parameters. Like,
Yes.
okay, this is what we do. We go in groups, my guy friend and your female friend, and we all group up. I think that's the only way she
But
would have
I
ever
yes.
potentially been
But
okay with
my
that.
problem, but my problem with Chelsea
Hmm.
is that she's a Jezebel. No, I'm just saying. Um, she is manipulative with her emotions.
But that's because she's not honest about her emotions, because
No,
also she hasn't healed in some
healed enough.
areas. And
But the
you talked
problem,
about this.
yes,
Wait, I got to bring this up because you brought up a good point last week. You talked about that unhealed speaking, and the way when we're not healed, how we view things,
yes,
how it manipulates our sight, what we
that
see,
part.
what we experience. And if you're unhealed, you will see things in an unhealed way, right? So I don't even know that it was intentional manipulation, or if it was just a mere
No,
fact that she is just unhealed. So she
no,
speaks,
I
she
yeah.
functions in a
Mhm.
way that's not healed.
Yes, she functions like a little girl to me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Um, but
She
what I
has
mean,
arrested development. Hmm.
yes, but what I mean by manipulation is she can feel how she wants to feel about him still being friends with that girl, but
Mhm.
she hadn't even had the emotional intelligence to also say, well, dang, how might it look that I'm still cool with my ex, right?
Goose and gander. What's good for the goose got to be good for the gander. And
Yes,
that goes
yes,
back to your point about the parameters, that you have
yes,
agreed upon parameters, but the problem with parameters, having agreed upon parameters, often when individuals are unhealed in their relationship with themselves, they can't have a healed relationship with another person. So
no,
can you agree upon parameters? Are you even inclined to know where you're comfortable, where you feel safe if you're
yes,
not healed, right?
yes,
So if the only way you know is manipulation, if the only way you know, because you
exactly,
manipulate yourself too to believe things that aren't true when you're not healed,
exactly,
right? So
exactly.
of course what you do to you, you're going to do to other people. If you're not
Yes,
honest with you can't be honest with
that is for
others.
other people.
So
So
that
yes,
she has I stand by my comment that I made about her 2 weeks ago, I think. She
uh,
needs to be on someone's sofa,
she
like
does,
some deep
she
intensive
does.
therapy.
Now,
And that's not a dig to her, because we've
can I
all had those. Go ahead,
can I also say something?
please
And I hate
say
to
it.
say this, I felt like him and Jessica were a better match.
I don't know about her either.
Really?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. The whole concept of you gonna have a heart attack or die
That
when you
that
see
was
what I look
crazy.
like,
That was
the whole
crazy.
concept that she puts so much,
That
and
was
that speaks
crazy.
to this generation though, right?
Yes.
And I don't mean generation in a generation, I mean to this dispensation that we're in the earth. She puts a lot of stock in what she looks
And
like.
what she looks like. She
And the
does.
whole concept that you have a child at home asking you, mommy, are you going to come home with a daddy? Like,
Yes.
wait, what's happening here? There were a lot
Exactly.
of things she said and did that I
That
was
you
just
felt
like,
like we're off. No, I agree with that. But it just seemed like she may, to me,
mm-hmm.
have been worse. I don't want to say worse, but to me, they would have maybe ended up a little bit better. That's just my
And
that's
maybe so, because he was more attracted to her. So
yes.
maybe that would have made him work a little harder or
And
whatever.
I
But
also
but
felt like there
also
was a different level of confidence that she had as well, where he may
exactly.
not have
He wouldn't
had
have
to
needed to
validate
validate
her
and
as
puff her up
much.
every day.
Yes.
But also, I just believe with the three of them. Now, I don't really know about it's Jessica, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about her too much because we didn't get to see her in a relationship.
No.
But with him, I think he's not ready for that either. I don't think he's
Me
ready for
either.
marriage. This man can't take constructive criticism on
No,
any
he
level.
cannot.
He
He
can't
can't.
take, I won't even call it criticism, constructive feedback.
Feedback.
He
He
can't
can't.
take a person who's
No.
disagreeing with him.
No,
If
he
you
can't.
cannot take a woman disagreeing with you, you don't need to be in a
No, you
relationship.
don't.
You need to be dealing with whatever issues you have, mommy issues or daddy issues, or how you see women, misogyny,
But
what
I
I don't,
also, yeah,
that whole
he's
concept
spoiled.
that a woman is just
Jimmy is
that's what I
spoiled.
was about to get to. The whole concept that a woman is created to be your cheerleader
Yes.
only, you need to grow up and you need to get to the root of what is really happening in you, because do you want a partner or you want a child? Like, if I'm a partner, I have my own thoughts and opinions and belief systems and desires and all these things, and they may differ from yours, and
That
it doesn't
part.
mean that I don't love you because I disagree. That's childish. So I think he needs to grow up some, and so I don't think any one of them should be in a marriage right now. Maybe a relationship as you grow
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
but marriage absolutely not,
But it
especially.
also seemed like her and Trevor were more of
Well, did you
very
find out?
interesting. Very
Listen, did you hear
interesting.
that Trevor supposedly had a girlfriend when he went to the show? The girlfriend's been all over TikTok like we were in a relationship. I didn't know anything about
No.
this. Yes. Yes. Don't know how true
So
it is
what
because
did
I
he go
didn't.
on there for
That's what
then?
she was saying. So I don't know. So, girl, I don't want to focus too long on this
Okay,
because
but
these aren't
anyway,
even the spiciest
so
ones.
okay, so they
So let's
he
deal with.
he let her down,
He let her
let her
down
down
before the altar, which
before
was
the
great.
altar.
I gave him mad
Then
applause for that. That was good.
then
It was good
that
that he
was
did it
that.
before.
Then who was next?
Let's
It
do
was
Johnny and Amy because
Johnny
that's
and Amy.
uh-huh.
Now, Johnny and Amy, they are
Uh-huh.
just a breath of fresh
They are
air.
so cute. Yes.
They are just a breath of fresh air. And I love the way like she was talking to her family and she's like, they like asking questions. She's like, he's my person.
Yes.
You know, like
That's
Johnny is
just
my
it.
person.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, to me, Johnny and Amy, I don't know if they'll be our Cameron and Lauren from season one.
No.
I don't know if they'll be that. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. To me, it is the epitome of what happens when two people come ready.
Yes.
They are ready. They are ready for the
Yes.
experience. They are ready for the marriage. They're ready to build on it. They're
Yes.
ready to work together. It is the complete example of what happens. And it's like a metaphor for life, right? What happens when you show up ready? See, so
Exactly.
many of these other folks, what's that saying? You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
Stay ready. Yes.
A lot of these other folks had to get ready after they
Yes.
already signed up, which was stupid to me, but that's my own judgment. But yeah, Johnny and Amy were a breath of fresh air. So anything, oh, you know what I did wanted to share about them?
What?
I think that whole episode was the epitome. Love is Blind, episode 12 to me was the parents episode.
Yes, it was.
Shine.
Yes.
The
And
parents.
the
Her
parents were
father, they were
impeccable.
impeccable. Amy's father, Johnny's mom and dad, but
Even
Amy's father.
AD's mother, though.
Yeah,
Too.
I'm getting there because we don't want to do that yet.
I know. I know.
but Amy and Johnny, their parents, and the way her father was so emotionally, and Amy's father, so emotionally intelligent,
Yes.
showing the blending, the way that it really should be when you marry someone,
Yes.
the blending of the two families. That man was remarkable.
Yes,
The
he
way
was.
he talked about his family and welcoming Johnny
Yes.
and his son, called him son, and the families merged together. Literally, that was one of the most beautiful things that I've seen on Love Is Blind. So
Yes.
they were the stars. The parents
They
were the
were.
stars of episode 12.
They were.
Anything
They
else
were.
you want to share about Johnny and Amy?
No, I love them, and I
Yeah.
love like her father just seems like a gentle giant.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
really just enjoyed it. And how
Yeah.
he talked about her when she was young, and like
Yes.
it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Okay.
So, but yes, those are our people. We like them. Let's get to
We saved the best for what now?
last.
AD and Clay.
My. I'm gonna let you lead this one.
Thank you. I wanted to. But I was like, I'm gonna defer to the niece.
No, go ahead.
AD and Clay. So this full time from the moment, well, first of all, I never thought Clay was marriage potential from day one. From the moment he asked what she looked like in the pods, which is completely contrary to the point of the show. You not ready, bro. Why are you here? To me, I don't know if he was trying to get, social media pub and go viral and, do some things for his business. I don't know if this is some selfish ploy to just, make a name for himself.
Exactly.
But I think if straight out the gate, you're not ready.
Exactly.
And you've seen the show before, you've heard of it before, you can research it, even if you've never seen it. When they pitch it to you, and if they're pitching, you have to do your due diligence to figure out what the show is about. He knew what the show was about, yet he still proceeded.
Yes,
he was not ready, and he came and played with her in her face and in our faces.
Baby.
Saying he wasn't ready in that. I hope I don't cheat on you. Yes. I don't want to hurt you. You already knew coming in the gate.
That
so
you
to
weren't
me,
ready.
I cannot have respect for you because you played with her. And playing with a person's heart, it creates an imprint of trauma in that person.
It does.
Right? And the thing that they reflect back on when they hear another man say what you said that sounds similar, it can be a trigger. And you play with someone, and also the yes ands of life. He was not ready. He shouldn't have been on the show at all. Did he have legitimate concerns?
Yes.
Absolutely. So what were his legitimate concerns? I'm going to tell you. Glad you asked. He had an experience similar to something I've gone through in my life.
Me too.
I never even talk about this, but
me either.
Tonight, I want us to talk about it.
Yes.
Because tonight's episode is called Love is Blind, but Trauma Ain't. Trauma sees you. Trauma will accost you, will tackle you, will attach itself to you
Come
and give
on.
all of the after side effects of
Yes.
that traumatic experience. And it will attach itself to you and become part of your identity until you get wise enough, until you get tired enough to start
Exactly.
removing the layers, right?
Yes.
Unpacking the trauma, unpacking the stuff to start your healing journey. He had an experience with his father. His mother and father were married almost 25 years. He said his father started cheating on his mother in year 7. Not only did he start cheating on his mother in year
Year
7, but he
7.
also would take his
With
son,
him.
I don't know what age, but he would take his son to his mistress's places of
Yes.
meeting places. So here you have your son, who is your wife's son also,
Exactly.
on your mistress cheating excursions with you. Of course, that's going to leave an indelible mark in this man's brain and his heart,
Yes.
and how he processes what a relationship and
Sure
what
he is.
marriage
Yep.
is, and what men are to women. And of course, he's going to be scarred. Of course.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
and though, because even though that's true, two
That
things
doesn't
can be
mean
true
that
at
you
the
have
same
to
time.
be that though.
At what point do we say, you know what? I don't like the way that made me feel, so let me not be that.
Yep.
But in essence, in this last episode, you saw him in his 101, his talking head video, saying basically he realized one of the most horrible things that he had to recognize was the fact that he is like his father.
Yes.
To me, that spoke volumes.
That was.
You are a cheater. You know you are a cheater, and you're not
And
ready
you
for
don't, and
marriage.
no, and you
But
haven't,
you
and
knew
you have
that
not been faithful. So
you've
you
not been
thought,
faithful, and you know that, but you knew this, Ashley, before you came to the
yes,
show. Am I judging him for being scarred from the trauma experience from his father?
no,
No. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility, and you have to be accountable for your
and
own
this,
healing
and there's
and
a
your own process of doing something different.
yes, and there's a difference between wanting something and doing the work to get it.
Absolutely.
And so I think sometimes we think it's enough to desire a thing, right? You
Mm-mm.
It's not enough to just desire it. You have to put in the the work, the strategy in order to get that thing, right? So that means that he should have been in counseling way before he even hit that show. He should have
Mm-hmm.
done his work way before he hit the show,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell that he's conflicted.
The
There's a
first step to
part of
recovery is
him,
admitting you have a problem. He's in the admittance
but
phase.
no, that too. But
Mm-hmm.
why the hell did you wait till the day of the daggone wedding?
Oh, there are so many issues. You're
Why?
talking about waiting to the day. Why are you on the show, period?
Why?
You
And
shouldn't be here.
but then okay, so let's talk about him in his full splendor, and let's talk about this. So I wanted to make a TikTok about this.
Mm-hmm.
How many people can readily identify with what Clay talked about?
Oh, I
We
absolutely
don't,
can.
I can identify with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally in the car when these things were happening,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the type of secret that you have to keep as a child,
Mm-hmm.
when you see the other parent, right,
Mm-hmm.
maybe indulging or talking to another person in a way that you may not know everything, but you know it is not in context, right?
You
With
know it's a
how,
betrayal of the relationship between the parents.
and
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, it's like, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with this information?
So let me share, because I did say, and I want to give this part some not context, but when I was watching him, I understood his
Stood
plight.
him,
I
yes.
got it. Like I said, um, I'm not diminishing the
No.
importance of having this conversation, and that it is a real issue, and that it is horrible, and that it can be traumatic, and their work has to be done, and you have to go through the healing process. I'm not diminishing any of that. What I am saying is this: when I was younger, my mother, I don't share a lot because my mother is deceased, but She was very young when she had me. She was 16. She turned 17 3 months after having me. So of course she's a child, right? When she was 27, I was 7 already. Well, no, I was more than 7. When she was 27, I was already, I cannot count because, I was already 11 years old. My mother was 27 with an 11-year-old. So 27, we know is still young, right? Your brain has just really stopped developing. My mother was she grew up with me. She wanted to date and had a child. There were men. It was like a revolving door. There was a lot. I saw too much. I was exposed to too much, and we know, bits and pieces of my story. But in addition to that, when I was 12 years old or thereabout, I was either 11 or 12. She introduced me to a new man, and this man, he stayed around for a while.
Okay.
He was in my life and my mother's life from the time that I was 11 or 12 until I was 20 years old. I was actually pregnant with Taylor when he died. This man was married. I knew this man was married. I met this married man's son. I sat in the car outside of this married man's house when my mother would take me to his house to pick up money or whatever she was picking up. At his wake, when he died, we went to his wake, and his wife and his son were in the front row. And we were reviewing his body because he had been in my life for 8 years.
Jesus.
A married man. A whole married man. Knew and met his son. Like, his son is 2 or 3 years older than I am. And he would come to our apartment like every other weekend or every weekend. And she had other boys too. But he was a consistent thing. He'd come and give me money and bring me Haagen-Dazs ice cream and, all the things. And this is the image of what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing this married man.
Yeah.
I'm hearing stuff I shouldn't hear with this married man and my mother. I'm seeing all of this. And by the time he came into my life, I'd already been molested by my uncle. So we have the image of men and what being with a man means. And my body's been defiled by molestation. And now my mother's, I'm seeing other men. It wasn't just him, but there were other men, but he was the longest standing relationship aside from this other guy, but that's another story. But she, he was her constant, and she had other boyfriends and the revolving door. But this man was married. It did a lot.
Yes.
Not to mention later my father would come and, the rape and all that. So what am I seeing? You get it?
Well, I'm going to add insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know if I talked about this in my book. However, I grew up with my abuser doing what he did to me, and I saw him pick up women off the street.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, we'll ride up on them. Hey, how you doing? You need a ride? Like, it was cringing. Yeah. And so imagine this is happening to me. And on top of that, I'm in the car. You are picking women up off of the street. You are talking to women. You are using my body for infidelity. And then you like do more infidelity in my, like, imagine what that does to a child. And it was kind of crazy because as I got older and I would tell my mother these stories, she was like, oh, I didn't even know. And it
Love is blind.
And then I low-key felt like she didn't believe what I was saying. But then I had my cousins confirm these things. They were like, oh no, he would do that when we were in town. And because they didn't even live here. It's just, and so when it comes to infidelity, there's a level of just intolerance I have.
Girl,
I'm
when
gonna
well,
be
listen, Ash, we have to talk
intolerant.
about this at some point. And the hubs over here and I will be 12 years in May, and it has not been the poem. What's the poem? I tell you, life of me ain't been no crystal staircase. We done
Yes.
had tacks and splinters. Even things that most people wouldn't consider as infidelity. Oh, I'm hyperactive.
Oh yeah.
Hyperactive. Wait, did I, what? And it's a whole conversation about it.
For
We're good
me,
now, but
yes.
it took a long time because I'm hyper.
So I'm gonna say this. Not only did I grow up in that culture of infidelity,
Mm-hmm,
but I grew up in a Christian church,
mm-hmm,
in a Pentecostal church,
mm-hmm.
where there was a culture of infidelity.
Of course.
Somebody about to be mad. God bless your mama. Get over it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Where I saw young women being mistresses.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget this one time. We went out to eat. Oh, I didn't say that. I got a story. One time we went out to eat, and there was this girl. And she was known as this girl who would sleep with different people. And that's her life. God bless her. But this particular person, there was this guy. He was in the midst of us. And I guess they was gonna call themselves, I don't know if they was flirting or what. So I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden, Alicia Keys comes up on the screen. And there was a big thing about her back in the day. Like, she broke up Swiss Beats and
Which
his
is why we
wife.
say she
And
lost her voice. She broke up that
ah!
marriage and God took her voice. But go ahead, sorry.
Oh,
That's just the
so
rumor.
she and the person was like, "Oh, I love Alicia Keys. I love her." I said, "Okay, I love Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats." I said, "For what?"
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Well, I'm just saying, I just love them." I said, "So you love their relationship when she supposedly got in between his marriage? Well, you can't break up something that's already broken up." I
Girl,
said,
isn't that the
"Let me
most
help you out.
ridiculous?
Let me help you out." See, the difference between me and you is that I understand that this is a vow between two people and God.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you disrespecting the covenant, but you're disrespecting God. It is an institution
Yes,
of
and
God.
yes,
But
and
listen,
mm-hmm.
so after I said, say this to this person, baby, she don't want to talk to me no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just don't have it in
And
me.
and so here's the thing, because I saw my mother being the perp, and
I get it.
my mother took a
Because
lot of
women
her,
do it too.
but she took a lot of her trauma to the grave with her, and I vowed to myself
Mm,
that I would not,
yes,
that I would air it all out so it can heal, so I can deal with it, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be on social media. It could be airing out to my loved ones, my friends, a book, a journal, whatever. But here's the thing. I am called to help specifically,
specific.
yes, people, but specifically women. I'm called
Yes,
to help women, and not just help you get the car you want or the house you want, to help you become the person you want to be, the real
mhm,
person, the one God intended. The problem when you find people, that statement, you can't broke something that wasn't already broke, and you can't tear up a house if it wasn't already shaky. That whole mentality is a reflection on how you view yourself.
that part.
Because I don't want any woman out there, I don't care who she is, I don't want her to care more about my marriage than my husband cares about my marriage.
That part.
And also, though, I do want women to care about themselves, because guess what? The whole concept of, we were talking about love is blind. And I said last week, love is only blind when we don't see ourselves. When
That
you
part.
see yourself and you want what's best for you,
Then that's not
you're
what you
not
want.
taking some married man or some
Not at
married
all.
woman.
And I
You
was
know, you deserve more than that. You deserve a person who is available and equipped and ready to love you, to engage with you, to grow with you, when you know and you can see yourself. So even with my mother, it's like, she's been gone since 2016, and even before that we weren't speaking for a while. But I have a level of empathy for her that I never had before, because I found out after she died, I'm the product of rape and all these things, and that's why she couldn't love me, all the stuff. But my mother didn't love herself, so it was
Yeah.
impossible for her to love me. It was
Yeah.
absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
I wanted something from her she
Or
didn't
that she
have.
couldn't give.
She
Yeah.
did not have. So the concept of, a person, I hate it when men cheat and then women go after the other woman. Go after
Yes.
him.
Go after him.
Go after him.
Because you got something with him.
You
You
made the
don't have,
covenant, the thing
yes,
you were talking about,
with
that
him.
covenant that you
Yes.
just talked about. You made the covenant with him. And also, I want women to love themselves enough to want a man who's available
That
for
part.
them, really available, and not in covenant with someone else.
Yes.
Why do you think that's all you deserve?
That part.
And on top of that, which is so interesting to me, you can convince yourself that that's all you deserve because you're different, you're better than the wife that's at home. But how is it that you think, even if you do take him, how is it that you think that he's not going to do the same thing to you?
Baby.
Oh, because you think you're different. You don't know who and what you are in a marriage until you're married.
Wait till
There
you
are
see.
things
Wait till
I didn't.
baby. Wait till you see mistresses fight over something that ain't theirs. Wait till you see that one. Because baby, I have seen it all.
I want women specifically, men, y'all can go get your own person to pour into you. I'm not her. I mean, I can help anybody, but
yes, I feel you on
but
that one.
but I'm
Yes.
called to women.
Yes.
I want women to see themselves as valuable.
And do not believe this hoax that there's so many more. No, there
There's
is
so many more.
somebody for
First
you.
of all, God would not give you the desire of the opposite sex and
Yes.
not meet that need. There is someone that God he's working on, your spouse, your husband, your whatever. He's working on him. Let him do his work and you get the work you need done too. Because there is a level of, now I'm not talking about the lying guy and you didn't know and he tricked you and you really didn't know. I'm talking about these women who know this man is married.
Right.
You see the imprint of the ring on his finger.
Yes. There's a difference between somebody, and I've seen it where somebody did not know that a particular person was married.
Mm-hmm.
That person was not being honest.
Right.
That's different.
And that's different.
But when you actually know that this
and you can only not know for so long.
Yes.
After a while, you start to just not want to know. But initially, a few weeks, a few months even. But after a year, don't tell me you don't know, because you just don't want to know. And you don't want to let him go. But we're getting all off.
Wait, we got to get back.
We have to get back.
So let's also, we didn't talk about this either. Let's talk about, and I know this is the other elephant in the room.
Wait.
You go. Hold
on. You're not going. Where are you going?
Hold on.
Where are you going?
Hold on.
Come on.
Let's stop at Culver's for a minute.
Uh-huh.
What made AD think that she could change this man?
This is the point. There are so many topics in this one episode that we can talk about.
Think that this man.
You listen. I'm not gonna play devil's advocate, but I am gonna speak from what I sense and what I saw from the edited versions. I think two things were taking place at the same time. And so for those of you who don't know, Clay, spoiler alert, Clay at the altar, they allowed her to say if she would take him as her husband. She said yes, and he said no. And he said, I wouldn't be right if I'd said yes. I can't say yes. You're amazing. Blah, 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 all the stuff, right? Right. But he waited to the altar. That's what Ash is talking about. He let it get to the altar. And the concept, I think two things were at play. She saw him coming to the show. She tried to take him at face value as, I want to get married, right? Because I came to the show. I found love. You're it. You're amazing. She listened to the puffing up.
Yes.
And she ignored and muted her discernment. because, like Risa Tisa, she saw what she wanted to see,
Yes.
which is something that often, and I'll just speak for women because I'm a woman and I'm around more women than men,
We see the
but
potential.
we see potential, and potential can get you killed. Like,
Yes.
potential is not what is actual. Potential is not reality.
No.
It is something that can be with the right set of circumstances and the right set of work and the right set of healing. That's potential. But people are not always ready, willing, or able
No.
to do the work, to have the opportunities, or even to put in the healing. That whole concept, he's about lip service to me. That
Yes.
boy is straight lip service. And I
And
think
his
because
daddy is that too.
he is so that, and he got on my nerves so bad, but he is so that. He is lip service only. And she listened to the rhetoric extended from his lips because it spoke the language of her desires.
Yes. But then she didn't get it to the end.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to move into that parental conversation.
Girl, I can't wait.
When she said, when he was like, but with you, I learned so much about myself. She said, and it feels like you sacrificed me to
She
do
was a
it.
sacrificial lamb. Yeah.
Baby, how many times?
How many times? Especially, and I speak to Black women.
Yes.
We often are the stepping stool. What happens to a step stool? You got to step on it.
Step on it.
For you to get up.
Hold on. And you only use it when you need to get up.
When you need to get up, when there's something out of your reach that you want.
Yes.
So you will step on me to get to that and then step down and I'm just sitting there in the corner somewhere.
That part. So
the concept though, that he spoke the language that her desires spoke. He kept feeding into, I gotta keep her. He was leading her on, basically. I'm not even gonna make it.
Then we have to defer from you gotta defer from desire language versus reality language.
Right? Mm-hmm.
So that's a big thing. He did speak to her desire. He like, man, but even hold on, even when she walked up, because Shorty dead. When she walked up in her dress, and
please,
baby, he looked at her the same way he looked at her when she came out.
And she did the dance with her butt and the strings. But here's the problem with that. There were too many signs. I told you weeks ago, he wasn't attracted to her. No, he was attracted to her body. That's it. And she was not his type ever. So he kept playing the game because he could slap the skins and go through the process and get, if they get paid, whatever, go through the process, get his following up, all the things. I can reap the benefits. And also she is cool. So I can learn some things from her because I'm not a demon completely, but he used her to come up completely. But also, when do we take ownership of what we allow?
Yes.
Because at some point, we got to wake up. That man was attracted to her body, her booty. And even at the altar, Ash, he said two things. He talked about how he could, when he met her, when he saw her, he said, yeah, I could work with that. You can work with that. If you don't look at me and think she is beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's everything I want, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. Okay, I can work with that. What are you saying? I'm nothing, but you. But because I got a booty and a little waist, thin waist, beautiful. It don't matter what my face look like.
That part.
The fact that he said that, and then okay, body, when she's coming down the aisle, what man?
He didn't say she was beautiful.
He didn't say, "Oh my gosh, my bride is beautiful." Body. Yes, okay, body. What? Okay, body. So you have completely objectified me, even on my wedding day?
That part.
Because he never wanted her. No. And that's all he ever saw.
Yes. Okay. Now let's get to this conversation.
Okay.
Between Clay's mama.
Let me set it up. Let me set it up because I have to play it. Let me set it up because I have to. So this is, I said this episode was the heroes were the parents. So he said no to her. Her mother, she turned and she was like, y'all ready? And her mother and her crew walked her out. She walked out with power, with her poise and her posture and her banging body. And she walked out, and her mother and all her people support. They spoke and poured into her, And then they show his mother and his father, the same father who cheated on the mother. Remember,
Yes.
they're divorced. So I'm going to cue up this clip that Ash sent that I think this is why the parents were the stars of this. They were the heroes here.
My. Y'all better
Wait, let
watch
me
this
see.
sermon.
Okay, let's bring it up. I might have to start it over. I hate how this present.
Y'all gotta
present. Let's see here. Share screen. Okay, we're gonna share here. And here we go. Can you see it, Ash? Ash, can you see it? I can't hear you, girl. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yes, but I can't hear it.
Okay, I know, because I'm about to start take it off. Why can't I hate these? Why can't you scroll back on Instagram?
Just apologize so that closure can be had. But the marriage thing, the commitment, he struggles with
Ash,
that.
can you hear it?
Yes.
You stayed, Mom, but there's things that I saw that I should not have saw or been in a position, and kids, when they grow up and they see things, it's like, is marriage for real? Or is marriage something that you get into and you lie and you deceive? And he took a lot of that to the altar with his decision.
Here's the thing too, Rita.
Girl, the music.
They know how to make something dramatic, baby.
So annoying.
I didn't necessarily have the best role models in my life.
I know.
Who cares?
I can't ever remember my father ever being part of my life. And
listen, I've always told you I forgave you. But there are things that had came out in the end that I did not know about until this experience. I was hurt. Again, I'm divorced from you, but things that he shared with me that I did not know. So that's why I'm saying he took a lot on his back. And although we came from broken families, that doesn't mean that we have to pass on that brokenness to our kids.
Absolutely. You stop the bleeding, stop the cycle.
Right. Your past and things that you witness is part of your DNA, it's part of your inside. And if you don't get freaking help, you bring that shit into the next thing. So the fact that he did this process, he wants to be in a long-term relationship. He wants that.
Tell him meet somebody like you.
Huh?
I met you, tell him meet somebody like his mom.
Yeah, but you met me, but you wasn't good to me.
Baby.
So
Miss Rita got that brother right on together.
The fact that this dude was still trying to play the game, running game, tell him to meet somebody like you.
His mom.
Yeah, but you cheated on me for what? 17
and
years
he
of
had
our
that
marriage.
alpha piano. Y'all should whoop him. Get the paddle, alphas.
17 years of their marriage, you cheated on me.
You cheated on me.
My son needs to meet somebody like you. Why? So he can cheat on her for 20 years?
Exactly. Why
So
hold on. And then you're telling these rewind stories. Because see, this is the thing, Clay. If you don't get yourself together, you're going to be rewinding them stories. Like your daddy talking about, my daddy used to take me to go see his mistress with him.
Listen, I know people call it generational trauma. We get that. Intergenerational trauma or whatever. Generational, what is it? Generational curses. They call it generational curses and intergenerational trauma. But it's really recycled mess.
Yes, it is recycled mess.
That's all it is. It's just recycled.
My biggest thing
and
is
at
like,
some point, somebody got to take out the trash.
Stop it.
Somebody got to take out the trash.
And my biggest thing is, what I love about Miss Rita was when he started crying, I could see her face like,
here did he again.
Yeah.
We got to do this again.
What you sitting up here
because here's the problem. Here's the problem. You did it to me, but somehow I'm supposed to console you.
You. For what? For what?
Even after divorce? You might have played that game while we were married.
I'm not doing that.
She touched him
Because
like, yeah, bro.
yeah, you
Yep, yep,
okay.
yep. I know. We both came from
But
broken
guess what?
homes.
The problem is now my child is carrying part of your story.
But here is the other part of that,
And
Ashley.
he got to deal with it.
That's the point. No, that's the point.
And he got to
Because
deal
even
with
saying my child, that's a grown man.
Yes.
My grown son is still carrying this. You need to go have a conversation with him
so he can have some closure.
Make amends so he can get some closure, peace, whatever it is he's looking for. But also own it without excuses. See, she said without excuses, and he came right back with excuses. Well, you know, I ain't never getting no love from my daddy, and I was in a broken home too. Yeah. We all have a sob story. Yep, exactly. It's true. And it doesn't mean it's not true. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a right to feel your pain. I hate it when people tell you to just get over something, especially things that they've never gone through.
No.
You don't just get over that.
That's not how that works.
But you can get through it.
Yes.
You can get through it. And the only way to get through it is not to keep using it to not do the work. Mm-hmm. You have to do the work. It hurts. It's unfair. And I will say this till I die. So many things that I went through, that Ash went through, that many of you viewers out there right now are going through or have gone through. So many things were so unfair. Yes. We didn't desire them. We didn't deserve them. And we didn't create them. And it's unfair that we have to, I say this often. Well, I used to. I didn't break me. Why did I have to fix me? Well, it just is what it is, because life is just life.
And I'm going to be real. I'm in a space where I'm grieving forward, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. It's not that I don't need to stop my life.
No.
I'm not in a depression, but I'm grieving, right? What could have been. I'm grieving what will never be, right? And you that's what you're grieving, that thing. But this is the thing. Clay has some arrested development. But let's also talk about this man had these conversations with this woman multiple times. I don't want to let you down.
Yeah.
I don't want to blah, blah. Because he knew the content of where he was at.
He knew when he came.
Yes.
He knew when he came.
Well, he knew when he came because guess what? What was a big red flag when you came was when you was asking her what she looked like.
Exactly. It defeats the premise of the show. And here's the thing. When you talked about grieving forward, I want a space, I want a place, I want a world where we can be honest about what we've gone through.
Yes.
We can heal out loud. We can heal in the public. I don't mean where you're healing, you're bleeding on people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the kind of healing where I don't have to lie to you if you ask me how I'm doing.
Yes.
I can actually say, today I had a hard night. Today is not good. I don't know why, but PTSD my mother died. My mother died on February 13th, 2016. Wow. We just passed February 13th. For some reason, I didn't go to, well, that's another issue, sleep. But for some reason on February 13th, and last year I was fine. This year it was like, she's really not here. She's really never going to be able to tell me she loves me. Now I know that.
Yeah.
I'm 51, will be 52 next month. But I know she will never. But I was born into a situation that if I had my druthers, that wouldn't be my story.
Right.
This would not be my story. And that's the truth of it. And I should be able to say that and be safe to say it on this space at almost 52 years old, saying, hey, listen, for over 30 years, I had to silence everything I was going through. I had to put on a mask and pretend for over 30 years that I was okay, that what happened to me didn't happen to me, that I wasn't bruised, that I wasn't scarred, that I wasn't in pain, that I wasn't suicidal, that I wasn't depressed. I had to just pretend for over 30 years. So now, 20 years later, I'm still processing.
Yes.
Because there's no way you can have the life that you had as a child, teenager, early 20s, and it not affect your 30s, 40s, 50s, and possibly even 60s when that stuff was lying dormant. I'm still unpacking things. I had someone very close to me tell me, you're a victim and you'll always be a victim. And I was done with that person in that moment because this is supposed to be a safe space. Mm-hmm. And you're saying I'm a victim? Why? Because I'm talking about something that's very actively happening right now.
Well, that
my abuser.
Happens. Yes. But that always happens with people who've never been through that type of stuff.
Exactly the
They've
point.
never been through it. They
Exactly
don't
the point.
understand. They don't understand that I can be healed, but I still have moments, right? That PTSD will
And
rise
for
up
me,
sometimes.
Ash, for me, the biggest abuser, my paternal father, was being released from prison in this year.
Right.
Something I thought I'd never have to face. So there were spaces and areas that I thought I was good in because I never had to face it. I thought that man was going to die in jail, in prison.
Right.
But now, oh, he's coming out, and here this 17-year-old girl is back in my head.
Right.
Here this 17-year-old girl with a pew-pew in her face, at her head, at his hands, that is being, I'm flashing back again, something I thought I dealt with.
Right.
I want a space and a world where we can talk about these things and not become prisoners to them.
Yes.
Where I can be safe enough to say and still go to my next level and my next rung on the healing ladder. But also that I don't excuse, oh, because I can treat you like crap, right? Because I'm healing. No.
Exactly.
I want the balance of healing.
Yes.
Because we can be in a healed state. We can go through the levels of healing and still treat people well, not perfect, but still treat them well with respect and honor and all these things, and also go to a next level. But we also have to be honest about where we are and the work that needs to be done. Me just having an excuse, I can have an excuse for everything because my life has been really tripped out. Yours too, Ash. We can come with the excuses, not an excuse, but when I have a tough moment,
right?
But I can look back and say, "But girl, you've done so much work.
Exactly.
You have put in the hours. Okay, this is a moment that will pass." That boy, Clay. He didn't put in the work. You can't
he did not.
You're gonna come and bleed all over someone and then say, but I'm gonna put in the work now. But bruh, you know this show required that you come with the work already in you.
Exactly.
You came in to traumatize somebody else. So you came in taken from her. Oh, I've grown so much. I've learned so much.
You thought you was gonna get a ready-made counseling session on Love is Blind.
And so I want to know, like, from him, Mr. Clay, can't even call you Mr. Clay. What did you give her? Because we've heard a whole lot about all the things you gathered from her.
Yes.
What did you give her? How is her life better because she met you?
Exactly.
You think she don't have trauma and drama? I'm sure we know she's got unresolved trauma. You know why? When she made the statement, and it just hurt my heart. It's like I'm never good enough.
No. Woo! Yes.
Yes. When is it going to be my turn?
My turn. Yep.
That spoke to her trauma already. She's got stuff.
Exactly.
She's got scars.
And you didn't do nothing but add to it.
How have you made it better?
That part.
See, that's the part. Yes, I want a world where we can be honest about our growth, the necessary growth, the stuff we need to do. But I also want a world where we're accountable.
That part.
You're not a teenager, bruh.
No, you're not.
So in my opinion, it was the parents' episode. His mother is amazing. And I also want her to let him grow up because he said and she said he's a mama's boy. There's a problem.
Yes.
There's a problem.
It is a problem.
He's a grown man. He's nobody's boy, first of all.
No, not at all.
And if he is, that is a problem.
That part.
So as great and amazing as his mother was talking to her ex-husband, his father, she was amazing. I want you to let go of them apron strings though too. Yes. And stop excusing his bad behavior.
Yes. Because he had moments where but I felt like she also got on him too. Like, you don't do that. Mm-hmm. You don't wait until the day of. She said,
but she had to know. She had to know. Even with him coming, she knew. Even the first conversation after she found out what he did, you know you're not ready for this. Why are you here? Stop playing with this girl. Stop playing with this girl. This is a whole person with a whole soul, a whole heart. She's going to be carrying this crap for the next few years of her life.
Leave that girl alone.
Leave her alone if you're not ready. And she had to know her son wasn't ready.
Now, what did you feel about AD's mother?
I see AD's mother as highly supportive and slightly problematic. I do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I do. Well, I think part of her, and this is something as a parent, you know, of a girl, a grown woman, it's real easy for parents of grown women to make mistakes.
Yes.
Because this grown woman wants the child, the AD wants to make her own choices.
Right.
As a parent, you want to support your child and you don't want to alienate them in the alienation of affection because you're telling them, don't do this, don't do that. No, I can't. And even though often as a parent, you can see what that adult child cannot because you've been there already.
Exactly.
So I think she's in a sticky situation.
Yes.
Between a rock and a hard place, but I know that space. And it will end up backfiring in your face.
Yes, it will.
Why am I sitting here rhyming? Did you hear all those rhymes? It will backfire. It will. And I get it. I understand it. You know, this is an adult. You want to support. You want to be there. But it's like, at some point, you got to speak the honest truth.
Right.
That he don't want you. He don't want you. He don't want you.
And I
think
she wanted it for her too.
She wanted it,
her
of course,
to believe it, blah blah. But I think there was something on the inside that said,
she knew that.
Kind of not.
She knew that when she met him, and you could tell in her eyes. You could tell when her mother at that, I think it was the lunch or whatever, wherever they went to eat.
She was looking like.
Exactly. And in that moment, instead of building it up and because you don't want to disappoint your child, that was the opportune moment for her to say, baby, this not it.
Yep.
I know you want it.
He's not ready.
He is not ready. He is going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
But as a parent of an adult person, you don't want them angry. You don't want them to cut you off or stop talking to you about it because, well, she told me and she don't support the relationship. But it's like, you can see it.
Yes. Yes.
So when I say slightly problematic, that's what I mean. At some point, you have to speak the truth to your adult child.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You have to. And let the chips fall.
And they both should have spoke the truth from the beginning.
100%.
Both of them.
His parent, his mother, and her mother. His father wasn't going to speak nothing other than the riddles that he spoke. I was so tired of him trying to sound profound and deep. I wanted to punch.
If you really want it, you gotta go after. If you think you got it, then you got it. If you don't think you got it, then you don't get it. You got to
if the moon sets in the west, then the sun gonna set in the east. Whoo, that was deep. What? Would you go speak your riddle somewhere else, sir, and learn how to keep your penis in your pants? Can you do that?
This man been speaking parables. Go tell daddy. This man is speaking in demonic parables.
Exactly.
Because if you want it, you gotta go get it. And if you need some fuel, go.
And if the ground is below you, then gravity gotta be above you because it's holding you up. Girl, what are you talking about, sir? Would you be quiet?
But you gotta make a choice because you got a voice.
When you choose to put on your shoes, then you refuse to lose. Oh, okay. Thank you. Did you see how Clay was looking at him and sometimes he was like, oh, okay.
Yes. I stand on what I said.
There's a God in you and the devil too, and it's up for you to choose.
Them alphas need to go get their paddles. And y'all need to meet him wherever he at and tear them little legs up.
So our show is Love is Blind, but Trauma Ain't. Trauma sees you, even when you don't want to see it. It still sees you and it will attach itself to you.
Yes,
and even with the Love is Blind, I don't think it's healthy for love to be blind.
Yes. No, it's not. And
you need to be able to see. And you also need to be able to see the effects that trauma has had on you, especially as it pertains to this family stuff, because it's so deeply rooted and
It
it's in
is,
this place where we want to be loved and all the things, and we have an
but we're
expectation.
but we're not ready because we haven't dealt with the trauma.
And it will follow you in every other relationship you have. Even when you
Yes,
think you're safe and you've
you're
done the
not
work, it will knock at your door again,
lurking in the
and it will
shadows,
have you
baby.
hyper. It'll have you too much, too little, too blind, seeing too much, seeing stuff that's not there.
Exactly.
I can hear, now I'm hearing stuff that's not there. He
Mm-hmm.
just said I was beautiful. What you mean I'm beautiful?
Beautiful.
All I am is my looks. Like, the man just gave you a
Yes.
compliment.
Compliment. Yes.
What's happening here? You're
Yes.
hearing through the ears of trauma,
Trauma.
seeing through the eyes of trauma, feeling through the heart of trauma. The message here is go get help. We all need it.
Yes.
Get
And
the
it's
help you
nothing
need.
wrong. It's nothing wrong. You want to do the work before you bring somebody else into the situation.
Please
Do
do the work. Stop bleeding on people.
Do the
Stop
work. Do the
bleeding
work.
on people. That's the message.
That is the message.
Ash,
Or in the words of Clay's daddy, if you don't deal with the trauma, then you get the drama, and life will be a comma. Okay.
I can't. My head. Jesus. Oh, if y'all haven't watched Love Is Blind,
You got
please
to.
go watch it. And we're gonna cover next Wednesday's reunion show.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
That's gonna be something.
It's gonna be something else, baby. I'm ready, and I'm ready.
And for you parents out there, you will never be perfect.
No,
I want to
but
just
tell your
release
kid
you
the
now.
truth. Tell your kid the truth.
That's exactly where I was going. Tell them the truth and correct them when they are wrong.
One thing that I do appreciate about my mama is,
and also support them. But
she
go
may
ahead,
not tell the truth to everybody else. But to her kids, baby, she gonna be like, baby, you must get up in that bathroom and wash up under them arms. I don't think that's gonna work out. That's not Bub. My mother will tell. I don't know. It's something about her children. She feels comfortable when it comes to life things, right? And us making decisions. She will be like, baby, that's not gonna work out.
And you adult children,
be okay with
learn to receive correction.
Sometimes you gotta be okay with
learn to receive. This person who has lived longer than you have been there. They might know a little something.
Yes. And I'm gonna also say this: be mature enough to also understand that just because somebody has epically failed in one part of their life does not mean that they have epically failed in every part of their life.
Exactly.
It does not mean that they cannot offer you wisdom. Now, if they try to offer you some wisdom in an area that they have epically failed in,
that there's failure. No, don't listen. That's not wisdom.
And it's not at all.
That's not wisdom. That's judgment.
Yes.
That's judgment.
And you do have people that have matured past that, right? And can give valid advice. But sometimes like, you can't tell me nothing because you blah blah. And this is the thing, ma'am. Sometimes you have to sit back and you have to have discerning ears.
Yes.
To figure out what is wisdom and what is not wisdom. Or as the old people would say, eat the meat, spit out the
bones. And also, as you talk about discerning ears, it's having a heart that is pliable.
Yes.
So often kids, I'm sure your son right now thinks he knows everything. It's every generation, every child. I thought I knew everything. You thought you knew everybody. But at some point, when you mature, you understand that people who really love you are not really love you. I'm not talking about those who lip service, but they really love verb you. They are out here to help you.
Yes.
And even with a person failure, because I don't believe in failure. I believe failure only happens when you don't learn the lesson. That's failure. But when a person has not succeeded in an area, but they learn the lesson, who are you to say you can't tell me when you did?
Exactly.
Even if I divorced, which I did divorce before, I can tell you what to look for and what not to do to not be divorced. Duh.
Exactly.
Like, I can tell you
Yes.
the warning signs. Here's what you
Right.
don't do.
No, for
Here's
sure.
who you don't marry.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, my mom had a conversation with somebody that we know, or I would say somebody that we know, somebody that she knows about who to take your children around.
Oh,
right?
she knows that now.
She knows that now, right?
That's
she might have
often how we learn.
Failed, but she learned.
But that's often how we learn. We learn by experiences and making mistakes, right?
Yes.
Oh, you go touch the fire. That's how you learned as a child. Your mama told you don't touch it. You burn. Ouch. Learn my lesson. Won't do that again. Now then, if a child walk up beside you and like, don't touch that stove, should that other child say, well, who are you to tell me you got burnt?
No.
That's how I can tell you,
dumb.
Listen.
Yes.
That's why I can tell you, because I got burnt.
Yes.
Anyway, this was a great conversation, Ash.
Thank you.
I'm going to go lay my head down because I am still not feeling well. But thank you all. We will be back next Wednesday. Go follow Ash on all the platforms. Follow me on the platforms. Subscribe to Hey Aunty and Ash on YouTube, please. And thank you. And Ash, Notes with Ash. You can say your own stuff, girl.
Oh, yes. You can follow me on Notes with Ash on YouTube. You can also follow me on Notes with Ash on Facebook. And you can follow me on Instagram at I am Ash Janelle and on TikTok as Ash Janelle. And you can follow Auntie on Out of My Shell The Voice on Instagram. And Coach Michelle
You're right.
Jackson on Facebook. And TikTok, what is
Out of My Shell The Voice?
Out of My Shell The Voice. Okay. We see.
There you go.
There we go.
And so we'll see you guys next Friday. Be ready. We want you to go watch Love is Blind so you can be in on this reunion show and know what the heck we talking about. Okay?
Because I'm ready to hear this stupidness.
You already know. Thank y'all. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.